Hi everybody, so I've been wanting to make this video for such a long time, but I just haven't got around to doing it. I'm sorry about the lighting, it is winter, so I don't expect like a great deal of light or anything. It looks quite dark on my screen, but I'm not actually quite sure if it does look that bad. I don't know. Anyway, so ADHD. I got diagnosed with inattentive type ADHD in May, and that was June, July, August, September, October, December, like almost 8 months ago. I got diagnosed. So I've been on a bit of a journey to try and figure out what works for me. And yeah, so if you wanna, I've got another video about my being diagnosed and what I've been suffering with, etc. So if you want to see that, then check out that video, because I'm not going to talk that much about that in this video. I'm just going to talk about how my life has changed since diagnosis. So when I first got diagnosed, obviously it was like a huge, just a wow moment, like, wow, this is what I've been wanting. Like, I've been wanting to find out what was cause of all my struggles for like so long, and then I finally found out what it is, and it was everything to me at the time. It was so everything to me, and I did so much research, and yeah, so I saw a psychiatrist, and I saw him a few times. Because I needed to figure out what medication I needed to be on and the correct dosage I needed to be on, and we discovered that the first medication that we tried was perfect for me. And yeah, so I'm on Strattera, which is the chemical name for it is Atomoxetine. Strattera is like the brand or something like that. And so I first went on 10 milligrams, and the first day I tried it, I had the day off work because like I was off work anyway, and I was like, I'm not going to try and take new medication when I've got to go into work. So the first day I took it was when I was off work, and I had 3 days off work. So it was a Friday, and I took it, and then maybe about an hour later I started feeling effects from that. And I was only on 10 milligrams, bearing in mind where as a lot of people get started on 40, and some people work their way up to 80, 100, which is, to me, seems ridiculous. And to me, I feel so blessed to have the psychiatrist that I did, who started me on such a low dose. And Atomoxetine is not a stimulant, it's a non-stimulant medication. It works on something beginning with N, chemical in your brain, and I can't remember what it is right now. So I do apologise, it's been so long since I think it's norepinephrine or something like that. Anyway, it's been so long since I've thought about this, because I've just been getting on with my life basically, and I haven't really been researching ADHD. I haven't felt the need to do that. So yeah, 10 milligrams I started, and yeah, within an hour or two I felt so sleepy, and it was kind of like a feeling of smoking weed, which I haven't done many, I haven't done a lot of. This was back when I was about 20, I think, but it was kind of that feeling of everything just being a bit and a bit, I just felt a bit out of it basically. I didn't feel high, I just felt kind of out of it and just so chilled out, but not in a good way, because it was kind of an overwhelming tiredness that I was just sort of thinking the whole time, oh my god, is this what it's going to do to me the whole time? I didn't want to be tired. I didn't want a medication that made me tired, because it just wasn't worth it, because I want to be alert for life. So then the next day I felt amazing, and people say that this medication takes like days to get into your system and to start working for them and see effects. And I was just reading up, I'd done a lot of research on this medication as well, and this is what a lot of people were saying. But the second day I woke up, that fog, that tiredness had gone completely. I felt so alert. I got up and I did the washing up and I cleaned the house before my partner even got up. I kind of just felt like, whoa, I need to do something. It wasn't that it made me motivated to do something, it's more that it just made me do those things without feeling a struggle while doing them. And what I mean by that is, if you've got ADHD, you will know that whenever you do something that's like a kind of a boring job, so chores for example, it's a big struggle, and you're fighting with your mind the whole time. And it's really hard to explain. People who don't have ADHD won't understand this whatsoever, But so, you know, so everybody knows people who are really messy, and if it's because of ADHD, then oh my god, I feel you, because I had such a hard time with the tidying, cleaning, daily chores. I just got so distracted all the time. I just couldn't stand there doing the washing up for a certain amount of time, and I just couldn't keep on top of anything, not just chores, like anything in my life. Everything was a struggle, and I can't stress enough, like, if you don't have ADHD, you can't relate to this, and you might think that somebody's being like super lazy, but it's not laziness. It's really hard to explain, but if you've got ADHD, then you'll totally understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't I felt motivated to do it. I was just sort of like, oh, I feel like this, I'm gonna kind of try it out because I'm feeling really clear-headed. And then the Saturday and Sunday I had like a couple of weird side effects, like feeling a bit lightheaded, but I think I was just kind of anxious about taking the medication. Like, I know I was anxious about taking the medication, but I was like, I'm doing this for myself, to give myself the best chance I have at like living a life that I am happy to live. So yeah, that's where I was. And then yeah, the Saturday and Sunday I just felt, other than a couple of like side effects, and I felt a bit sick on the Saturday, but then after that I haven't really had I have hardly felt any nausea that I can relate to taking the tablets. So I was taking them in the morning, then went back to my doctor and he put me on 18 milligrams, and then I felt a bit tired the first day of taking that as well. So I think it was a month, I was on a month on each dose. And then he said, you know, we're going to skip you from 18 and we're going to put you on 30. So you skip out the 25 and try and put you on 30 and see how you go there. And that was awful because I actually thought I was anemic because I was that tired. So I was taking it in the morning and I just felt super tired all day, like I couldn't go on, and I worked 12-hour shifts, so imagine that. That was really tough. It was really tough. And then I also had heart palpitations, which I get anyway. I think there's a number of reasons I get heart palpitations, like anxiety, and also just being hypersensitive in so many different ways. Because when I'm alone and I'm chilling out, like, I don't get them. It's just when I'm around other people and lots of things are going on at once, things like that. So yeah, so those are normal more to like me, but I found that these 30 milligrams, I was just feeling super tired and I was just like, ooh, somebody's coming. Sorry, I still get a little bit distracted, but there's a reason for that. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, the reason for that, I'll tell you quickly, is when I'm about I don't know, maybe like a week before my period, that week, especially like 3 to 4 days before, I find the medication doesn't work as well. It feels like it's just not working as well. I feel like I should just have a higher dose just for those days. I think that's just a hormonal thing though, but yeah, so the 30 milligrams, I wasn't aware myself that it was the tablets that were making me so tired, and I went and got my blood tested for anemia and things, and I wasn't even low in iron, and I was really convinced that I was, because it was how I felt before when I was low in iron, but it turns out that it was my medication, because literally when I'd take it an hour after, I'd feel super focused, but I'd also feel super tired at the same time, and it's like, well, this is still better than how I was feeling beforehand, but I still don't want to be tired all this time. So my doctor recommended that I take it at night time, so I started taking it in the evening. I take it at 8 o'clock now, which helped a lot, but I was still quite tired and I was feeling quite anxious, and I was laying in bed trying to sleep and my heart was pounding too much, and I was like, this is not cool. So I messaged him, I emailed him, and he switched me out for 25 milligrams, and I've had no trouble 25 milligrams taking at night. It's perfect dose for me. So that's what basically we'd been doing, and I think that was in September maybe. So I've been on that dose maybe 4 months or so, maybe a bit longer. Not entirely sure. Sorry this video is getting quite long, but I really want to explain in detail how I've been affected. So if I'd have made this video, let's just say in general, when I was making videos before I had ADHD diagnosis and before I was on medication, I would have to edit my videos so much, like seriously, because I'd just lose my train of thought. I couldn't get back to it, and you know, I'd just forget what I was saying, and I'd just be all the time. And yeah, since I've been on medication, that's not really been an issue for me so much. I had the occasional thing, but I can just talk and flow properly. I feel so much more mature in myself, and I just don't feel chaotic anymore. My life used to be so chaotic, and I'm still kind of untidy at sometimes, but it isn't like because I'm all over the place. That is more just laziness. And I can tell the difference now between ADHD, laziness, and how I am now. So that's kind of cool. But when I tidy, like, I do everything all at once, and it looks really amazing. So I don't want to get too much into that, because that's only like a tiny part of ADHD. But yeah, so like when I'm talking to my partner, I'm just like saying something, and then he'll be like, talk about something unrelated, and I'll be like, oh, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, and I'll just remember it straight away. Whereas before, even mid-conversation with other people, which is why I think I was so anxious talking to people a lot, even mid-conversation I'd be like, what was I saying to like other people, and it used to make me feel so low and so small. So I don't have that anymore. And then I should have made a list, really. I'm still not that kind of person who is like really great at planning things, but that's kind of my personality as well as my ADHD. But you know, that's something I'm working on. So my happiness overall has increased so much, like so much. I used to break down a lot. I used to go out with my dog and just walk in nature and get so distracted just by him walking that I'd get annoyed, and I'd just be like, oh my god, I'm not enjoying nature because of this. Just things like that. And you know, I'd cry so much. So that's another thing about Strattera. It actually helps to stabilize your emotions, and that's what my doctor said to me, that he thinks this one's going to work so well for me because of that. And it has so much, like, I feel so much less anger towards myself, because it was always towards myself, because I always used to like get so mad with myself, getting distracted, feeling chaotic, you know, forgetting things. I'd always lose everything all the time. And now I don't remember the last time I lost something. Oh, I remember when I lost my pills, and that completely freaked me out, because I was like, I've got to take these tomorrow. Or was it tonight? Yeah, I think it was tonight. So I've got to take them tonight. I need to find them, like my new prescription, because I got it a little bit earlier than normal. It turned out they were just in my bag after all, even though I looked through there. So I was proper freaking out about that. But other than that, I haven't really lost and misplaced things, which is great. But I've just been happier. I just felt so much more love for myself, which is crazy to think that some pills are gonna do that for me. I used to hate myself though. I used to cry a lot and just say, you know, I hate myself. Because over time it just got harder and harder to deal with these symptoms, especially like I'm turning 28 next Sunday, which is crazy. And I only got diagnosed when I was 27, so I went through like the whole of my 20s almost in a place of suffering and struggling. And when I was a teenager, I still struggled, but it was a lot less. When I moved out of home and had to do things for myself, things became so chaotic and so difficult for me to do. Yeah, so yeah, and I feel a lot more confident in myself. I feel a lot more confident talking to other people. I feel so much more mature, and you know, that's the kind of thing I was afraid, like I was afraid of losing part of myself, and in a way I have lost that part of myself, but it's kind of still there, just a more focused, reduced level. They've kind of had to make peace with that, and I was, you know, I kind of felt like, oh, I'm losing my creativity, but to be honest, I'm not actually, sorry, I'm not, I haven't lost my creativity. It's not that I've lost it, it's just that I have maybe less ideas about things, but I'm actually able to carry out each of those ideas rather than having so many ideas that I can't do anything, and just, you know, I'm actually able to do that, which is amazing. But yeah, I thought I thought I was going to lose a part of myself, and I was really scared about that. But you know, I could have always gone back if I hadn't liked the person I'd become, but I really loved the person that I've become, and we're all going to change and grow as we get older anyway. So yeah, I'm totally cool with that now. But yeah, things have just been amazing recently. There's a couple more things I do want to mention. Just trying to think what they are. Yeah, my relationships have improved with people as well, which is super awesome to experience. I have more focus, as I said. I don't have the hyper focus, and I used to love that hyper focus of just feeling so passionate about something and just listening to music and doing something at the same time. And now I really struggle to listen to music and do something at the same time. Before, that used to make me so focused. Now I have to kind of do the things separately, which is totally fine as well. It's just maybe one of the disadvantages of taking the pills, but you know how much my life has improved, I can't really comment on that. I've also managed to, after so many years of wanting to work for myself, I managed to start an online business, which is really awesome too. And I may have mentioned it in another video. But yeah, that's just so awesome because it's what I've wanted to do for so long. And it wasn't until I just said to myself, like, and this is how I found out I had ADHD. It wasn't until I said to myself, you know, I'm not struggling, I'm healing, and I'm going to do things from a place of love, and I intend to find out a way to improve my life and to stop feeling like this. And that's exactly what I've done. And then my job has just thrown me out of my comfort zone, and there's been so much inner work I've done since then that I would never have done without this job. So I'm really grateful for that. And that's another thing, I'm just grateful for everything these days. Just a really nice feeling too. So what other areas of my life haven't I spoken about? Happiness. I've had no issues with sleep or anything like that. That's not an issue with me. I have no side effects from taking the medication, which is great. Initially I did have some, like the tiredness and things, but everything just sort of leveled out and disappeared. I do get more headaches, and I think I can attribute that to that maybe, or maybe a little bit of dehydration. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I did have a lot of headaches before anyway, so I can't really say that they're related. Going into busy places all the distractions used to just overwhelm me so much. I've had a lot less of that affecting me. Like, it still affects me, and sometimes I'm just like, I just have to go and get away from people and just like breathe, but it's been a lot less, so that's awesome as well. And I'm still a highly sensitive person. I'm still introverted, so I can accustom some of that to those things. But I know my doctor said that I've been making a lot more eye contact with him, like in the last session we had. He'd written it down for my doctor, and I also got a copy of the letter, which was really awesome. Oh, I wish I'd got a copy of the letter on me right now, and I could show you guys what he said, because that was pretty awesome. So overall, this medication has changed my life, and the diagnosis of ADHD has changed my life, and I'm just so grateful for all of it. Everything was just so chaotic before and all over the place, and my life like has structure now and purpose, and things have just been improving since then. Like, I'm starting a fitness routine fitness program. It's called T20. It's on Team Beachbody. I'm starting that on Monday with a coach as well, which is awesome. It's this girl I've been following online for so long, and she's absolutely lovely. And yeah, like, before I was diagnosed with ADHD, I really struggled to exercise. When I went on medication, I went to the gym, which I actually ended up cancelling my membership. But I would go to the gym occasionally before, and then when I got my medication, I went to the gym to run once, and I couldn't believe how clear my mind was. That was amazing. I just felt it was so much easier to exercise, which showed me that it wasn't, the reason that I struggled with exercise before wasn't because of my body and how fit I was in my body. It was actually mostly in my mind of why I struggled so much to exercise. So that was like, so I know it's going to be so much easier now, and I'm only doing 20 minutes a day of this exercise 6 times a week, and I'm really looking forward to it. Actually, I'm kind of nervous as well because I'm doing it before a 12-hour shift some days a week, which is kind of but you know, I'm gonna make it work. I'm committed to it. And then yeah, just the last thing to end with, before, my thoughts were all over the place. That was like one of the big distractions. It wasn't just what was going on around me, it was just my thoughts were all over the place. Now my head is clear. Like, it's weird. It's so weird to experience when you've never experienced that before. And if I've ever experienced something like this, it was only through like guided meditation or yoga nidra, or sitting in nature and just breathing and taking it all in. And even then, it wasn't this level of clarity. And that's why people with ADHD do those things, like spend the time alone in nature, why they meditate as well, do yoga and things like that, because it helps to clear your mind. But you don't know what, I mean, you might know what it's like because you probably have ADHD watching this. It's so hard when, like, life is so hard when you have a million thoughts running through your head a second, and you have like songs playing in your head and they keep switching around, and it's just mental. And now I can just drive and have one stream of thought, which is really nice because I used to get distracted while driving, which is why I didn't like to drive so long. And now I feel so focused when I'm driving, which is so weird. But like, yeah, work has got a lot better because of that, because I've been able to remember things. And I hid it from work, though. I didn't let anybody know that I was struggling with anything. I hid it from most people, and I feel like I can be like fully be myself now, whereas before I never felt like I could truly be myself because I wasn't like other people, because I had this condition and nobody like could relate really. And I guess I kind of felt ashamed the way I was. You know, I was depressed a lot, and just everything was so chaotic and things, and I needed to do things all the time that excited me so much. And now I'm just happy for the simple pleasures in life, and I couldn't really ask for more. And I said to my partner, I was like, when you're like driving, or just any time in general, basically you're doing something, you know, do you have all these thoughts running through your head? And he's like, no, like I hardly have anything going through my head. And I'm like, what? That's when I really realised that I did have ADHD, and it was like a big problem for me. And then taking the medication, I was just like, is this what normal people feel like all the time? That's amazing. And I could literally cry because how amazing that is after not having any calm in your life whatsoever. And so many people put others down for taking medication. Like, I've seen so much online, ADHD saying you shouldn't take these medications. Some of them are like heroin and things like this. But if you actually experience no calm in your brain, you don't know what it's like to go through that every single day and just feel so unfulfilled with your life and so empty, so depressed, and it's just awful. Like, I'd have notebooks and I'd just write so many different things down out of my head all the time. I was just having like, just to get it out, and even then it was just still coming, it wouldn't disappear. And I could never act on any of the things I've written down. I could never like organise my thoughts and things. But to actually feel like how calm my mind is now, I wouldn't trade that in for anything. It's just the most amazing feeling to me, and that's why I just need to keep reminding myself of how the place I used to be in and where I am now, and how grateful I am for that. Like, so grateful. It's just been a crazy life up until this year, and I'm just so blessed to have found out what was wrong with me all these years, when they were saying, like, you know, I just have anxiety. You know, the doctor said I had moderate to severe depression, and I was like, yeah, I am, but it's not, the cause of it isn't like anything like he was insinuating. The cause of it was ADHD, and that's why I wanted to see a therapist, a psychiatrist, and that's why I ended up paying for all myself. So if you have ADHD and you're questioning whether to go and see a psychiatrist, see a psychiatrist. Like, even if you have to take out a loan to pay for it or do it on your credit cards or whatever, and I'm not saying, you know, that's a good idea or anything. Like, we took it out of our house savings, which is why it's put us back a little bit. But we both agree 100% that it was totally worth doing, because my life has changed now and I'm happy and I want to live like a really good life, and because I'm so grateful for that, I'm doing everything I can to live a really good life now. And yeah, just so blessed. And I'm gonna end it now because it's gonna get on to like nearly half an hour, which is crazy, but yeah, I could talk about this for days. So if anybody wants to message me, then, you know, go ahead and do that. And if anybody wants to chat in the comments, please leave comments down below. I just have so much to share on this, and I've been through so much in my life and the medication has just shifted my mindset completely, as well as like that's enabled me to shift my mindset in other ways, like through gratitude practices and actually feeling gratitude rather than just trying to force it, and it's just been crazy. So yeah, thank you so much for watching if you watch all of this. And yeah, I had so many people reach out to me on Instagram mainly, actually. So that was awesome, and email even, and people have reached out to me and saying how much I've helped them and how much they can relate, and sharing their stories with me, which has been fantastic to hear. So if anybody wants to do that, like, I love that. I love connecting with you guys, and I love knowing that these videos are helping somebody. That's really important to me, I guess. It's just made me feel like I'm doing, like, my whole journey has like been worth it to help other people as well. So yeah, so I'll leave my email address down below if you want to contact me. I'm actually changing things a little bit because of my online business. I've decided to incorporate like a new vibe, I guess. So I'm creating a new YouTube channel. I've created a new Instagram and a Facebook page, which I'll link all down below if you want to follow that. It's going to be less based on my struggles and more based on, you know, ways to improve your life, spirituality, health, like holistic health, well-being, things like that. Yeah, so I'm really excited to share that. Now my life has become more focused, and now I've matured and changed a lot. I feel like I've got to release that. Like, the whole point of finding your serenity was to find my serenity in life. And I feel like I've done that through finding out I've got ADHD and getting medicated for that, and finding my online job, which like I absolutely love. And yeah, so and several other things. Just changing my mindset and everything. And I want to share a lot of that mindset work with you guys that I've been doing. And so I'm going to do that on a new channel and a new Instagram and a new Facebook page. I'm going to try and incorporate that into my like online job as well. And I've got to release who I was, and I might still make videos on this channel occasionally. And this channel's more represented to me, like my struggles. That's how I feel like it represents. Oh, I'm just talking on and on. I could talk forever. But the great thing is I don't even have to edit this video because I've just, you know, hardly had any breaks and lost train of thought and stuff, which is really awesome. So yeah, just want to thank you guys so much for following me on this journey and just being there for me and interacting with me and everything you've done. Because I wouldn't have posted if nobody watched the videos. I probably would have given up posting. So yeah, I'm so grateful for you guys, and yeah, reach out to me and check out my new links down below. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the future.